Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Picks and Sticks podcast, a fun music podcast where four great friends talk about the music, bands, and songs that they love. I'm Moro.
I'm Gordo.
I'm Cecil.
And I'm Huff.
And this is Picks and Sticks. On this episode of the podcast, we bring you 10 great songs from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Welcome to Picks and Sticks, everyone. As the summer continues, we hope you're enjoying your summer and of course, staying safe. We that goes without saying, I guess, but then again, I actually said it. So anyway, we're talking about summer, and for now, we've got a great band, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sorry, I'm a little thirsty here.
Just going to take this opportunity to overserve yourself.
Yes, I'm in full summer mode. And speaking of which,
what brand are you drinking?
That, you know what? We're not giving out free advertising today. That'll be
all
right. We're
in contract negotiations.
That's right. We're whoring it up to get that 5-cent deal. But summertime, I don't know how many listeners out there are playing golf or whatever your summertime activity is. I know that the Picks and Sticks boys have been playing a little bit of golf. And although not together, we still haven't got all four of us out on the course at the same time. We've kind of been doing our own thing. We've kind of been playing with different people. I had the pleasure, the absolute pleasure of playing with one of our favorite listeners, with Moro. And it was funny. You talk golf, and we told him we were going to give him a little bit of a hard time. But, you talk golf, and it's like, what's your handicap? And so I'm a 15, I'm an 18. Well, Brady shows up. Well, what's your handicap? And it's like, well, it's like my right knee. Right knee. I've never. How would we describe that, boys? I've never seen. His legs not even.
No, it's it looks like his leg's gonna break off at the knee.
It does, so
it's like a 30-degree angle from his knee, and his foot just hangs there.
Yeah.
God damn, son.
Yeah. And all of that, I thought he really missed a golden opportunity, because I don't know if you guys have ever played with some, when you get the cart, and it's usually the old guys, that are really old. They've got some sort of disability, whatever, we all start breaking down, particularly the dudes, as we get older. So you can get the blue handicap flag on your cart, and that basically means you can fucking drive that thing anywhere you want, 3 inches from the green.
Right on the green.
You could probably park it on the tee box. Nobody's going to really say anything. So he kind of, I think he missed the boat there. I think he missed a golden opportunity just to Dukes a hazard that thing and drive it anywhere you wanted. But
we get to the course, and I was changing in the parking lot like I normally do, because I was coming from a meeting, and he calls me. I can't remember if he called me or I called him. And he's like, "Oh, are you here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here." Like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm at the back of the parking lot. Where are you? There's no parking spaces." He's like, "Oh, I'm at the front." I'm like, "How'd you get a spot at the front? It's fucking packed today." "Well, I'm parked in the handicap spot." He's got the handicap thing because he's gonna get his knee surgery, which, at the moment I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing in the handicap spot?
Printed one off at home.
Then I walk up, and he's got a monster truck. A fucking monster truck, giant tires,
the lift kit,
jacked up with the lift kit, parked in the handicap spot. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he blew his knee out getting out of his freaking truck.
Yeah, he probably did. He probably did blow his knee.
We get this out of the way for my old man. He has pneumonia.
Jesus. Low-hanging fruit dad jokes.
What's his golf game like with one knee?
Not bad, actually.
Yeah?
Really, all things considered. Obviously there's a bit of an impediment there, if we can, if you can say that. But I'll tell you, he had some good shots. He smashed a few drives. Like, we had a good time out there. We had a lot of laughs. There's some really ugly golf.
If it's his
being played
left
out
knee,
there.
he can do the reverse pivot.
Yeah,
Or he just
I think
plays.
it's his
he plays
right,
on
isn't it?
one. He plays on. Yeah, I think it's his right. Plays on one leg, basically.
Yeah,
Jesus.
pretty much. Like when he lines up, like I'm pretty sure it's his right leg. His foot when he lines up is like at a 90-degree angle from where his other foot is.
Damn.
Well, the
He's almost
funny
got
thing,
a Donald Duck kind of stance on that.
The funny
Thank
thing
God
is
he's wearing pants.
he's legitimately like hobbled,
Yep.
but
Oh, yeah.
he's a super sportsman. Like he was a pro snowboarder, and so he's always skiing. But then he's like, oh, I get the best parking now because he parks right at the front, and
Yeah.
and he's a dirt biker, and he's like, oh, he's like, I went to the mall the other day and I parked in the handicap, I had the dirt bikes in the back, and I was getting dirty looks. I'm like, well, yeah, you pulled up in a fucking monster truck and parked
Dirt
in
bikes in the
handicap
back.
with fucking dirt bikes in the car, like back of the truck. What do you expect?
What? He's not
Yeah.
freaking walking on the bike.
It's true. He's riding.
Okay.
It's,
He's
you know,
sick.
Right?
Not using my knee on here.
Yeah.
it's a very valid point. So anyway,
Anyway, I think he called me and he thinks he ruined my game, but my game is just shit to start with. So
I think your
he-
golf swing ruined your game.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I got that same problem. I think we all do. Before we do get into the Chili's, I just want to briefly mention a couple of things. Now, of course, we're recording this just a couple of days before Record Store Day, which was obviously the topic of our last episode. We got called out a little bit for not mentioning A&B Sound. I think it was a Megastore. I don't think it was called Megastore back then. That sounds a little too modern, but there was an A&B Sound on 8th Avenue. I think it's now like a Fitness. Is it a Good Life or something like that? It was on the counter. Do any of you guys? Don't.
It was awesome. It was like 5 stores. It used to be an old bank. And it was like
Oh, it's the bank. Okay, that's a different location.
It was like one story of records, and then one of like, you know, CDs, one of speakers. Like it was awesome. It was a great store. But it's been closed for quite a while. Quite
Closed
few
for a
years.
long time. That goes back to our conversation about the attic and some of those things. So
Who's
I think
calling
that-
us out on that?
I'll give you one guess. It's Greener.
Oh, and the
Greener's
A&B
just, you know,
Sound.
Just
Jeez.
chipping away, pointing out our insufficiencies.
What
But,
about HMV?
Well, I mean, those were like the chains and stuff. I think, you know, when we were talking about that, we were kind of going for the, you know, the attic and stuff like that. Our guy, Rick Fawcett, also mentioned, now this wasn't on 8th Avenue, but Strawberry Fields. I don't know if you guys have ever been in Strawberry
he's-
Fields. It was
He's flat out making shit up now.
well, he might be able to, but I'll tell you what, if anyone's got a memory for this city, he's probably one of the guys, but I believe that one was on McLeod Trail. I personally spent a small fortune on cassettes in that store. So
What
that
about
shows-
Megatunes? What about Megatunes?
Megatunes.
Megatunes.
That,
That
was
was
the
on
store.
17th.
That's
Yep.
yes. I was trying to remember that one, and I couldn't when we did the recording. So nice
Good
one.
one.
Now it's all coming back to us. And then there's one item I forgot to ask you guys about. So I just want to do this quickly, and then we'll move on. But it was around movie soundtracks because, you know, I mentioned just a few of the releases that were coming up for Record Store Day. There, the one, for whatever reason, I didn't see this note that I had. But anyway, there were a number of soundtracks being released on vinyl for Record Store Days. So my quick question out to you guys is, you know, I'm sure we've all bought soundtracks back in the day, but knowing, you know, in the vinyl world that we're at right now, collectors, stuff like that, would you ever buy a soundtrack on vinyl? And if so, which one? And by the way, and like The Wall doesn't count, like that shit doesn't count. I'm talking about like
Judgment Night.
Oh,
Judge-
yeah.
Nice
It's
call.
all
call.
collabs. It's all collaborations, isn't it?
Yes,
That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
That was a good one.
that one was that's an excellent call.
I would also
that-
say the Singles soundtrack from the movie Singles. Had a lot of
Singles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Alice in
that's
Chains and sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
The
Cornell
Crow.
on
Do you remember the movie The Crow?
Oh,
Brandon
boy,
Lee.
that's a good
Crow
call.
had a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
That,
Really?
That
What-
one. Oh, it was good to go. You have some Rage on there. You get, you get some other stuff
Really?
that I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember it being very solid.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Can't
Well, that's
think
a
of
pretty
any.
solid list off the top of your head. That was
I have
pretty nice.
I have For Your Eyes Only, James Bond, but I don't
Really?
really listen to it.
You got a Bond soundtrack, eh?
It's in my trade-in pile, ready to go. See what I can get.
True.
I remember the title track. I don't know if you know off the top of your head, C's.
Is Xanadu a movie? Oh, Grease. I have the Grease soundtrack. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Grease is the word.
Yeah, Grease. I could see Saturday Night Fever kind of.
Oh, I got that one too.
The,
Saturday Night
yeah,
Fever,
the
have
Bee Gees
that.
stuff, which ties nicely into that Foo Fighters album that's coming out. But
Can I just throw a few songs off you from the Crow soundtrack?
yes,
now that
please,
the,
because I don't recall the
remember
sound.
the
it was good.
research
I don't remember a
department
single
took
song.
a minute. So it starts off kind of weak with The Cure, but the song's pretty good. But we got we got some Stone Temple, we got some
Like The
Nine
Cure
Inch
now.
Nails, Rage, Violent Femmes, Rollins Band, Helmet,
Rollins Band.
yeah, Helmet, Pantera. Oh, and amongst others, like, it's a pretty stacked lineup.
Wow.
don't-
Okay.
I think
Does anyone
I think
else like The
Judgment
Cure?
Night ekes it out.
I don't mind. I don't mind some Cure.
Sorry to go back to that. I just have I have a Cure record, and I put it on, deciding which ones to ship to the record store, and it's a keeper. It's really good, and I was surprised because I hated them as a kid.
Me too. I had an album. It was actually my sister's that got lumped in with all my records, like with the ones that I kept, and I ended up. It was the head on the door or head on a door or something like that.
Well,
Anyway, I
for the
fucking
one
gassed
time
it.
you
I sold
you
that.
have a lady over, gotta have some
Nah.
Cure ready
Have a
and some
lady
Bon
over.
Jovi.
I've always got a lady over.
I got the Cure.
Yeah. yeah. So anyway, so that kind of cleans up or tidies up a few of those loose ends. So as always, we definitely love to hear from our listeners. So thanks to those that did mention a few things. We may address a few others that we received, but be sure to get in touch with us. I mean, you can email us at picksandstickspodcast@gmail.com. You also find us on social media. Instagram is Picks and Sticks Podcast. Twitter, Picks and Sticks 2. So
Huffman, before we get going, can
Okay.
I just make mention of something?
you can do whatever the hell you like.
We just need to clear the table here, buddy.
Okay.
You were talking about golf, and Brady got a lot of love from a week ago. I golfed with you yesterday, and you didn't even mention it.
No, I didn't. There was nothing memorable about that round, I'll be honest.
What a dick!
Eh?
Except for the fat shafts.
The fat shafts.
Except-
dude.
Except for the fact that actually Gord played well. Gord did play well yesterday.
Thanks, man.
I thought you you hit your irons really well. You striped a few out there. The driver was working.
It's a hot day too, man. Holy Jesus!
It was hot. It was a good day. Yeah. So
good day.
my apologies. I mean, I'd love to make fun. I don't know. Your setup is a lot better than it was the last time you and I played, which is probably like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
When you had that fucking Charlie Brown bag and
That's right.
that.
And we should ask the guys.
Persimmon wood.
I'd like them to weigh in on some. So we're playing with a Scotsman, a true Scotsman, our buddy Will. Now, Will is very, very vehemently against mulligans,
Absolutely.
but he's totally into 10-foot gimmies. Like,
Yes.
it's very strange.
Yeah. Outside the leather doesn't matter. No, but if I chili dip it off the tee, and we're not playing for money, we're not playing for anything. I'm just I'd like to
attorney.
reload that. No, you're not allowed to do that. But
Yeah.
you can pick it up from the fringe if you want. That's good. It's all good. Yeah.
He's not listening anyway. He said
Ned-
he does, but he's not.
Ned will make you putt a 1-inch putt.
Who will?
Oh,
Ned.
but he'll
Oh my
mark.
god.
Oh,
Ned will mark his ball when he has 2 inches to go and wait for everyone to putt out, and then he'll still read it, but he won't start reading it until everyone's putted out. He likes the stage.
I played yesterday with a Scottish woman. She was phenomenal. I think she shot about 84. But man, could she hit it. It was unreal.
nice.
Clean my clock.
Your what?
Clock. There's an L in there.
Oh, Jesus.
So, all right, let's get into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Currently, the band is Anthony Kiedis on
thank
vocals.
you for clearing that up. I don't know
if
how
you-
to pronounce that last name.
I'm pretty sure it's Kiedis.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Flea on bass.
Oh, and I don't know
We
how
got-
to spell chili. I thought there's 2 L's.
I was doing that too. I had 2 L's in there as well. I don't know what the hell was going on. You got currently. I mean, they've had a number of guitarists, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. But it's and I'm going to butcher this. Is it John Frusciante?
Frusciante?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Chianti? Yeah, not bad. not bad.
Guitarist, and of course on drums is Will Ferrell. No, Chad Smith. Sorry. Sorry for those that I never made that connection.
Not until they did
if
that
you-
dueling drums on Jimmy
Fallon.
Fallon. Oh, it was incredible. And they
I
look
had no
incredible
idea.
how much they look alike.
It's insane how much they look alike.
They're
Clearly
twins.
different talent on the kit, but
They're twins, man. It's crazy.
yeah, if you haven't seen that from Fallon, I don't know, that's a few years ago now, but check
on
that out.
YouTube,
And
yeah.
the likeness is insane.
Well, those guys are buddies. They do a lot of charity stuff together, I think.
Oh, they do, eh?
Yeah. They've put on benefit concerts and all sorts of shit.
Nice.
That will definitely bring in the dough if you get those
They
two
figured
guys.
it out. The 2 of them can split the charities. They only have to go to half of them.
Yeah, one show I was reading one show was a music comedy combo show.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That'd be good.
That would be pretty fucking cool.
Oh, that would be.
Gee, that'd be a super
Yeah.
cool.
So the band, they have 11 studio albums. So and one album is a double album. So definitely a lot of material to go through. I also read that if they're not finished the new album or they're close to finishing a new album, so there might be some new Chili Peppers material out later this year, which would be good.
Good
Nice.
news.
I'll just say for myself, I'm going to place, the badge on Gordo as being the resident Red Hot Chili Peppers guy. So you need to wear that crown proudly. I didn't really know a whole lot about them other than the hits and stuff that you hear on the radio. I did go through a Blood Sugar Sex Magic phase. Like I bought the CD and when everyone else was listening to it, right? Love that album, but for whatever reason, I never really had anything after that. And I've never seen him in concert. I don't know. Has anyone seen him in concert, Morrow? Have you?
No, I've never seen them in concert.
I regret not
And
going now.
Me too.
They've been through town a couple times, I think.
I didn't
Yeah,
like
they
him
have.
when he started singing. I was a huge fan up until the end of Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and then I thought the radio singing songs were kind of like, oh, they're going soft, and I didn't get really interested in anything after that. So I know every album up to the end of Blood Sugar Sex Magic, every song, and then after that, nothing except for what was on the radio. Like completely fell off a cliff, and I'm freaking stunned how good a singer he is. I like fallen in love with the post Blood Sugar Sex Magic Chili's. It's like finding a new
Same.
band. It's incredible. He's such a good singer. And he doesn't even sing on the first five albums. There's 3 songs. He sings,
Yeah.
I think, on Behind the Sun on Uplift Mofo, which is not even by himself. It's like the whole band. And then he only sings on Sexy American Made on Mother's Milk. He's all the
Yeah, that's a great tune. Yeah. I like that song.
And then Under the Bridge is kind of like the catalyst for everything beyond it. It's like he sings beautifully in that, and then after that, it's never been the same. And I thought, I wouldn't like that. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it all.
Did he-
It's been glorious.
Did he take singing lessons or something? Like did him and
It's
right? Did
Yeah,
him and
yeah,
Hetfield
yeah.
like split a
No,
guy?
he's-
And
No, he has a vocal coach. He definitely
Well, who's his coach? He's a good coach.
yeah, because they were very much. I mean, and I love a lot of the early stuff that it's like a lot of funk and and he's like he raps a lot if you want to call it that and there's some interesting stuff and then all of a sudden again, we've talked about a few bands that, that we've loved sort of from the beginning. And what happens is as they get later in their career, you get less and less interested in, their later stuff. Like the Tragically Hip, great stuff in the beginning, later stuff, hard to listen to. And there's so many bands like that, right?
Or the singers can't sing anymore. Seems like they always sing well when they're young and then get a little older and have to go low octave all the time.
Yeah. Like if you think about the bands, sorry, more.
I was just going to say Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, not to go back, but it was released the same day as Nevermind.
Was it really?
Nirvana, yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Which is interesting.
I knew it was the same month. I didn't know it was the same day. That is interesting. They definitely got better. I actually, when listening to the first album, it's sometimes with some of the bands we've done, you can go back and hear the early stuff, and you can hear like just little nuggets of brilliance, like whether it's Van Halen. Well, that's not bad. Like maybe Nirvana or something like that, or Soundgarden. But with these guys, I listened to that first album and I heard nothing. Like they don't hint to me at being great at all.
Yeah. It is weird. And when, like I was going to say, when you think about some of the bands that we've covered, through this, the episodes of Picks and Sticks, it's, Guns N' Roses or, Van Halen, Soundgarden, I get, Metallica, Sabbath, like a lot of Motley Crue, a lot of the later stuff. It's
I disagree. Sorry to interrupt with what Gord said though. Like you hear Flea's brilliance. That's the very first thing you hear on anything is the opening of True Men Don't Kill Coyotes. He just like that. It's like a better Seinfeld riff.
I found sometimes his bass too much though.
Yeah, it's definitely bass centric, but I know I don't listen to Parliament, but it's definitely follows a lot of. Didn't Clinton produce some of their stuff? George Clinton
produced Freaky Styley.
He did
that album.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
heavily influenced there. It's more parliamentary.
They spent a lot of years begging Rick Rubin to do their albums, but he kept declining because they were all drug addicts. And he's like, "Till you clean your shit up, I'm not doing anything."
Yeah,
and
first 3 albums were used, and weren't they? Well, obviously, yeah, because he
at
died.
least
The guitarist died after the third.
Kiedis was on and off. If you guys want to read a great rock autobiography, and I've read a few, the one called Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis on his life is by far the best one I've ever read.
I've heard that from multiple people.
It is truly fascinating. Just the horrors of addiction and heroin. Like he was clean for years and then went to the dentist. He told them not to give him anything. They gave him something, and he went straight.
The laughing gas or something
like that, or morphine. He went from the dentist straight to downtown LA, bought heroin, and then stayed in a hotel for a week. Like it's just tragic. But he's been clean for a long time now. It's a really good book.
You know what I find funny about that is, you know how many guys they kicked out for substance abuse? And they were all fucking substance abusers. Like Frusciante and Kiedis were heroin addicts, and then they booted Navarro out for drug use.
He's their Dave Mustaine.
He's their Dave. I was like, how can they boot these guys out?
The story sounded familiar.
Yeah, the story happens a little bit.
They kept kicking everyone out for being druggies, and they were fucking wasted.
It is pretty funny. I was wondering how you're going to make that funny. I'm like, that's a little hypocritical for sure. I don't know was Flea ever on the drug, or was he just a big drinker?
When I saw him an interview a long time ago, and it's either when his wife or girlfriend got pregnant, or the day the day his daughter was born, he kicked everything, and even weed, nothing. He's been like clear-headed, so he could be like present for his kid.
So he's clear-headed. Is that why he doesn't wear those pants with the stuffed animals on him anymore? You
Yeah,
realize how ridiculous he looks?
Yeah, that was in the Higher Ground video.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah. Higher ground indeed. He
I'm
was
glad you
schwacked.
brought those pants up, man. Those are fucking hilarious.
Huffin, didn't your sister date a guy with pants similar to the? I seem to
No,
remember you.
he had Def
No,
Leppard pants. He had
no,
the
he-
Def
Oh,
Leppard
that's
pants
right.
that
No,
were
he's-
like all
He
ripped
stuffed
and shit.
He stuffed his pants.
Did he wear
Yeah.
a shirt? Did he go shirtless?
I don't
No,
know.
yeah.
Oh, that was the weird thing about that video, Under the Bridge. Remember that came out? I'm like, he's wearing a shirt. Never seen these guys with a shirt on before.
Yeah, it's true. There's a point when they weren't even wearing pants.
I do have to say though, this band is like uber talented.
Incredible.
I don't know if they get enough credit for how talented they are.
Yeah, they're
All of
amazing
them.
musicians.
All of them, like they're really good. And I really underestimated Chad Smith. I never really thought
awesome.
of him as a top drummer. And the more I've listened to them, I'm like, fuck, he's like really good.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's great.
I like the four guys that are in the band right now. No disrespect to the other guitarists, but I think they're really talented and I don't know. I put this band for me, and again, not knowing a lot of their material at all, other than stuff I heard on the radio. This band is up there for me with Pink Floyd in terms of how many songs I enjoyed. Like this was the longest short list, if you will, that I've had since Pink Floyd. I think we're all kind of in the same ballpark. I was about 55, 56, 57 songs that I was trying to decide between and rank to get into my top 20. It was an absolute,
Totally
it
agree.
was an
No bad,
agonizing process.
no bad
Totally.
songs.
Yeah,
No
just
so
ears
many
with
great songs.
Every song
Easily
is
the-
at least good.
easily
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
toughest one so far.
I've never skipped so little. I never skip any. You just listen.
How many
listen,
number
listen.
one hits? How many number one hits have they had?
I don't know. I meant to look that up. I don't know if
I
anyone
think
made
it's
a note of it.
I think it's about 13 or 14, and they're all really good songs for the most part. And then, look, there's like 50 or 60 other songs that, in my opinion, are just as good,
See, and
maybe even better.
so, and I mean, obviously the band is super talented and all that. We've kind of established that, but I'll go back to what you said more of the Rick Rubin thing, and I'm a big fan of Rick Rubin, just based on what he's produced. Is it coincidence? I guess outside of One Hot Minute, like the albums and the greatest hits shit and some of the other stuff he's done, but I'm talking about the studio albums that he's done: Blood Sugar Sex Magic, By the Way, Stadium Arcadium. And I think he did I'm With You as well, and obviously One Hot Minute. But Blood Sugar Sex Magic, By the Way, Stadium Arcadium are fucking like amazing albums and produce so many.
What's outside One Hot Minute? I don't get that.
What's
Like,
that?
What's
No,
outside?
well, I don't think One Hot Minute was a big success.
Success, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a very big success. I think it produced a couple of average hits, but not.
It produced
Success in my headphones.
No. Let's rewind a little bit.
Okay, well, correct
One
me because
Hot
I'm talking
Minute.
out of my ass.
One Hot Minute produced their first number one hit on the alt charts and the music chart, which was My Friends. It was the first.
way.
The One Hot Minute didn't sell as much as Blood Sugar Sex Magic, but the problem was Blood Sugar Sex Magic was almost, how do you follow that? It really
Yeah.
was epic.
Yeah. So the
That's true,
research,
but
the research department has decided that this is a pretty interesting stat, that they have the record for number one hits by an artist. So not like an individual, but by an artist with 13.
Okay, so 13 was right. Whoever threw that number out, nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty good,
I thought
man.
it was around there.
Way to go, Chili Peppers. This was definitely a hard list to tackle and order. I knew it was going to be tough going into, so I used a really heavy filter, and I still had 32 songs in my first pass.
Well, there's probably 5 songs at least per album that are really good. So
Really
Times
good.
that- Times
I-
that by 11.
Yeah.
Our algorithm is the least useful with this band. Like, just pick an album, press play, and you're good.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
you
have
know
like
what? I
Motley
would agree
Crue,
with
Motley
that.
Crue, you need us. Like, we're a valuable service. This
Yeah,
band,
Absolutely.
press shuffle,
Absolutely.
put the whole thing on shovel. I can't steer you away from anything.
Yeah.
Just look at our
That's-
list. This is the biggest variety. We're all over the map.
Yeah, that's a great point. We definitely
Yes,
did.
this had some unusual scores.
Yeah, we did
Well,
a great
the other thing,
service to
too,
the people.
what I'm
Motley Crue.
surprised is how they rein in the guitarists. Like, all the guitarists are amazing, but there's not a huge variance on their sounds. Like, even Navarro, I was surprised. Like, it's a bit heavier, but I was surprised that it's still like the higher funky. I don't know. Like, it could, if you weren't totally paying attention, it could be the same guitarist right through. I don't know. Like, there
Could
are
be.
subtle differences, like, but they're not a like whole big difference. Like, they all keep them in check, kind of.
Yeah, if you didn't really know, I mean, if you didn't know that there was a different guitarist and you're just listening to the band, and if you asked me,
But enough that you can appreciate them each, though, too. It's like a good balance.
yeah, but I mean, as a casual listener or whatever, if you played, 1 Hot Minute and played Californication and played, By the Way, those albums, I don't know if anyone would be able to tell there was a different guitarist, or I don't think, like you said, I think
Not
I think
that
it's-
I'm a guitar expert, but there is a difference. But you're right; it's not like 1 Hot Minute's real. It's got psychedelic guitar and some more metal guitar, and then the early stuff is a little funkier.
Yep.
But Frusciante is, I don't know. He's got to be one of the most talented guitar players out there. You'll get mixed reviews on that, but I've never. There's not many guitarists that play like him. He does a lot of shit like Jimi Hendrix does, and he can play the funk and he can play some metal, and he's bananas good. Like, in my opinion, he's good. He's in my top 10 for sure now.
There's a
More
few solos of his that were really standouts for me that I was like, fuck, like that's.
Have you
That's
guys ever
really
seen
good.
him live? I've seen him
Never.
a couple times. Has anyone else?
No, see, we
Oh,
sort
really?
of touched on that, and I know you had a bit of
Oh,
a
yeah.
technical issue, and I asked the other two. No one has, so why don't you share
Oh.
your experience real quick?
Well, yeah, I saw him twice. I can't remember exactly what tour it was, though. I believe it was the By the Way and I think Stadium Arcadium tours. I was actually, I'm probably one of the bigger Chili Peppers fans of the four of us, I'm guessing. Although I know people are far more fanatic than I am. I've always been a fan, but I was blown away by how good they were live, especially by Anthony Kiedis. I don't know why, I thought he might struggle. He didn't struggle at all. He sounded fantastic. They're some of the best musicians I've seen live, and they were tight. And it was just a great show. Like, it was just so good. My wife really, really enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I've had some other friends that went to one of the gigs. I'm not sure which one it was, and absolutely loved it. So that seems to be kind of on brand for them. That being a great live act is important, particularly in today's world where that's where you're going to make your money, right? So they should be, from what I've read, they should be going on tour in 2022, which will obviously support this album that is going to come out at some point here in the next few months. So,
Nice.
maybe there's an opportunity to go see him. I never would have thought about going to see them live had I not gone through this process with you guys. So that, and once again, man, talk about the payoff for this, other than the the beer sponsorship perhaps that we're going to get here. Just the fact that you get an appreciation for bands that you weren't overly familiar with, and I think this is probably one of them for me, anyway.
Nice.
Well, but would you say? I don't want to belabor it, but would you just like? How could you not be familiar with the band? I mean, just not to the depth of listening to every album.
Well, I frame it this way: I've
Yeah.
bought one of their albums, which was in 1991. And so, 30 years ago was the last time I bought one of their albums. I'm familiar with their hits. Like I've heard By the Way and Danny California and, Give It Away and like shit like that. Like I know those songs, but outside of that, I didn't know anything really about the band other than my wife is in love with Anthony Kiedis. So that was up until once he went kind of with the weird porn stash and the long greasy hair, and then she kind of dialed it out. But that's
he's very popular with the ladies.
That's a strange look. Because she has such great flow. And to chop that long flow, man.
No, it was
a weird look. Go with the stash and the shorter hair was strange.
Yeah.
They never went back. Just kept it, hey?
Yeah, anyway, he looks like he owns a van with no windows.
I was gonna say, for me, the pleasant surprises that stood out in the re-listen, I got into them probably around Mother's Milk, but really Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I liked One Hot Minute a lot more than I did when it came out, which really shocked me. I always loved Californication, By the Way, and Stadium Arcadium. I know those albums really well. But and then it's the last two, like especially this last album, The Getaway.
Love it.
It's just really, really chill. I don't think I have any songs that crack the 20, but it's a great album. Really well done.
That's my favorite album right now. That's number one on my list out of all.
Really enjoyed it.
Play. I love it.
It's really good.
Half those songs are written to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I mean, my biggest challenge.
They're about me. They're to me. If you play it backwards, it says, "This one's for you, Cecil." The Wave. You hear that?
Yeah.
Do it. Try it.
So if you play it backwards, it says, "Let's get rid of Flea and bring Carlin in for bass." and use all his good ideas.
See, you did play it backwards.
I did play it backwards. Yeah,
only do it on vinyl.
I did.
That's why it's good to have records.
Yeah. So
I think the only thing I have to say about the last two is not having Frusciante didn't make them as good for me.
Oh, I don't know.
They're good,
It's
but
nice. He's
for
really
me,
melodic. I thought he was like that. Whatever. Sorry to interrupt you there. That guy, man, is like it's more a little prettier. If that's
Klinghoffer.
I'm sure you're not into pretty music though, Morrow.
No, he likes it rough and dirty.
Yeah.
No, I do like some of the slower, more mellow stuff. I miss Frusciante.
Well, he's back now, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, the Getaway, I'm on board with that. I think that's a tremendous album. I'm with you. I struggled with that album a little bit. I don't think I've got any of those songs.
Which one?
I'm With You.
Oh, I'm With You.
It's a good album through start to finish, but yeah, nothing. There's not like standout tunes that really.
Yeah.
Again, I can't complain about it, but nothing jumps off the map except for I personally like the song Ethiopia.
Yeah, and we can get into it. So. Is this maybe the time that we should actually get into the list and talk about specific songs? So this is the point when we'll get into our top 10 list. And for those new listeners, the way we come up with this list, we have the patented Picks and Sticks algorithm. So each of us will create a top 20 list. And then we run those through the algorithm, and it ranks all the songs for us. And generally, we talk about the top 10. And the running joke, of course, is very rarely do we only have 10. And Red Hot Chili Peppers did not disappoint. We do have a tie for 10th place, so we do have 11 songs in our top 10 list, which I was so fucking excited about. I was like, yes, the algorithm was struggling with this because. Normally when we do bands, our lists are similar. There'll be one or two songs that'll be different. Obviously, we'll have the same songs. They'll be in different order, ranking, stuff like that. But this one was really different, and we'll kind of get a flavor for it here in that. So tied in 10th spot, if you will, the two songs are Ready Made from Stadium Arcadium and Give It Away from Blood Sugar Sex Magic. And those songs, were only on on 2 lists. So Ready Made, I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. I'll try it this way. Ready Made was on Cecil and Morrow's list. Give It Away was on mine and Gordo's list, and nobody else. So when you think about, I had Give It Away as high as 4, Gordo was 15, and then it didn't make the top 20 of the other 2 guys. Ready Made, Morrow had it high at number 8, Cecil almost the same at 11, and then me and Gordo didn't have that. And it wasn't, when I listened to Ready Made again, I'll let you guys talk about it because I not that I have a whole lot to say about it, but like that bass line intro is really wicked. And this is a song that I thought the killer solo in the middle, and then it's got that kind of that it's not a drum solo, but that isolated drum.
It is like a drum solo.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool song. And looking back on it, I probably should have had it on my list. But, again, when you're trying to dial back 57 songs.
I can't. Songs always remind me of other songs. Mm-hmm. It's like a bad habit. And this reminds me of is it The Ocean, Jane's Addiction.
Yep, that is The Ocean.
Hey? Yeah.
Coming, or is it the mountain song? No, it is The Ocean.
Oh, maybe it's a mountain song. It's got, anyways,
Yeah.
Jane's Addiction vibe is what I got.
Okay.
I found Ready Made. I was wondering if it's a play on words, Ready Made. Because Ready Made is like a formulaic thing. Like in art, like a ready-made art is, you follow a formula and you use it for commercial success or whatever. Ready-made food is. I wonder if they did a play on words because it's like a 70s meets stoner rock song, and it follows like a total rock song formula.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder, I've tried to find out if, because Flea and Frusciante wrote it, he just didn't write any of it. And it's got like so many popular rock sounds in it. Like it's got a little Sabbath, it's got a little Metallica, so I almost wonder if they tried to just make that song. We're just gonna do a formulaic rock tune because that's what it is. Like reminds me of Clutch as well, And there's something about that song it's out of the ordinary from the normal stuff they do, and it's heavy and it's awesome.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a nice pick, boys.
As far as Give It Away, that would be one of the first videos I can remember. And it's a pretty classic, the black and white. It was just really interestingly done. Back when videos were more of a thing. It's a catchy song. Give it away, give it away. Like it's just, I don't know what it is.
They played that on The Simpsons.
That's right.
They did that on The Simpsons.
And they were animated in that. I think they've been animated in a few videos. They were in. Not that this song made any of our list, but they're also animated in Beavis and Butthead for the Love Roller Coaster video as well. So they've had some pretty iconic, right? Because they were animated into that one too. So that was pretty cool.
And that song was up against. It got released the same time as "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Which song?
Give It Away.
Give It Away. Yeah. It was off of Blood Sugar. Yeah,
91. Right?
I actually like that song better than Teen Spirit, to be honest.
I do
if
now.
I had to pick one.
I don't know if I did at the time, but
fair enough.
Number 9 is also from Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I Could Have Lied is the song. It's an acoustic ditty, if you will, boys.
It's pretty little ditty, but it's not Pretty Little Ditty. That's on Mother's Milk.
Isn't it surprising how good they are? How good they are.
Actually, back to Pretty Little Ditty. I'm sorry, this is a big digression. Have you heard the song Butterfly Crazy Town?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That music from that song is Pretty Little Ditty. They took the Chili's musical with no words and made it "Come my lady, come my sugar, come my lady, come my sugar."
Oh, really?
Crazy Town? No, you don't know that one?
I know. Now that you say it, I recognize the song, but anyway, I can't think of again because I'm not really.
Anywho, we'll roll that one maybe after copyright infringement and all that. But it's Pretty Little Fact on Pretty Little Ditty.
All right.
All I was going to say earlier is for a band that earlier in their career where they were very hyperactive and had like highly energetic songs, these guys are really good at writing slower, like thoughtful ballads. Like
I agree.
Some incredibly good slow songs, and I kind
Tons
of forgot
of-
about that. Right?
I agree. Some of my favorite stuff they do is slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the list is pretty on point with it. There's another one on here that was very surprising too.
Yeah.
That's a teaser right there. Huh?
Yeah, that's well done. And this song was probably the one song, and we talk about it every episode, that there's the one that you're moving up and down, you're moving it all over the place. And this one just kind of, if I would have had a couple, maybe 3 more days of listening to this band, this probably would have made my top 5. It's such a great, I got to see, you know what? It's a great tune, boys.
Great tune, boys.
Oh, great
Yeah.
Great
There it
tune,
is.
boys. So
Great tune.
number 7 is from One Hot Minute. Cecil and Morrow had this. It's the title track. It's called One Hot Minute. So
crushing.
this is the I think the only entry, at least in the top 10, that Dave Navarro's on. So
And I think it's the only title track or greatest hit Gord didn't have on his list.
what do you mean?
Oh, let's say. Well, there's a lot of title tracks.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I followed you now. You know what? I had this on my list, and it's probably right around 21, 22, unfortunately. It's a good pick. I just had some others ranked a little higher.
It's a heavy metal song, man.
You can hear some
Really
Janes
is.
in it for sure.
You definitely hear some Janes in this
Yeah.
one, right? Dave Navarro just could not help himself on this, but that's okay. It's a
His
good song.
guitar sounds so fucking good in this song. Sounds like it's going to start on fire.
On fire.
All right.
It's just got that tube screaming, like just, I don't know. I love that sound, but
Great tune.
All right. Well, we can cut out that dead air there. We'll move to number 7. Wait a minute.
There. So I'm not.
Oh, we had a numbering issue. That last one was number 8. We went from tied at 10, then 9. One Hot Minute was 8.
It's a tie for 7, right?
Oh, yeah, there's a tie for
tiebreaker
7.
in
Okay. Anyway, Breaking the Girl from Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Gordo was all over this one.
oh, it's got to be the drummer in him. It's got to be the drummer in him for sure.
Gord's got himself on
Yeah,
mute.
Numbnuts
just
is on
yakking
mute.
away.
This is a disaster.
Yeah.
Fuck's sakes, boys.
It's out of my playlist.
He's just talking
Jesus
away.
Christ.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give hand signals to say, "Hey, Pinhead, you're on fucking mute."
That's the type of professionalism you're getting.
That's right.
It's a free show. What do you want?
It's been that kind of night. If the listeners only knew what happened in the
God.
30 minutes before we hit record. But anyway,
I
Gord,
do
you-
like Breaking the Girl. Chad Smith does not get enough love because of Flea and Frusciante are also amazing musicians. Chad Smith kind of holds the fort down, and his drum beat on this is spectacular. And on top of that, I don't just like it for that. It's a really catchy song. It's a little different for the Chili's. And I just love the whole groove. It's got a very nice, mellow, kind of droning thing going on. It's pretty good, man.
It's got the upbeat drums with the acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
I think
right?
Oasis ripped that off a little later on in a few songs.
yeah, nothing wrong with that, right? Number 6, Other Side from Californication. There's actually 2 songs in a row here, and they're pretty close from points perspective. Other Side is at 6. Number 5 is Parallel Universe. Moral. Other Side, you and I had a conversation sort of offline about this song, but I know you're really this is your favorite song.
Well, yeah. I find that this is the song when when Anthony Kiedis, it was the most noticeable song where he started to realize he was a really good fucking singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always loved it. I think it was a hit. I know he wrote it. They say he wrote it, and I don't know if it's true or not, is it Hillel Slovak, the first guitarist that
Right.
died of the drug overdose?
Right.
And it's just a great song altogether. Like, it's well written. It's got an emotional feel to it. It's got good all around. I don't know if I had to pick. This was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
there's probably a dozen songs I could have put
I
first.
agree.
And this one just had a little sentimental value. It was when it came out, you know, I played it camping and you know, I just enjoyed it. So it turned out to be number one on my list.
Yeah. And so this is, I found this part interesting, you know, with these lists that, you know, Gordo was all over these, you know, Breaking the Girl, he had it at number 2, Other Side, he had number 7, Parallel Universe, he was at 6. And then the next two, that we'll get into in a second, he had pretty high as well. So a pretty good run by Gordo of just nailing the top 10 sort of songs. But Parallel Universe, so Morrow had Other Side number
Just
1.
Copy paste the greatest hits.
Yeah.
Easy
Well,
to
and you can do that. Parallel Universe, was that a hit? I didn't think it was.
Yeah, it was a big hit.
It was, eh? Okay. I don't remember the song. And when I got to Californication and I listened to it more and more, this song was in the top spot for a long time, and I was trying to find a way to get it out of there, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to sound stupid, but this song, I don't the guitar riff and like the way that the I don't know, man, like I can't even explain how, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those songs, and you're like, the drumming in it is awesome. The chorus,
It's very raw.
The way the chorus kicks in is wicked. But just
totally.
that, you know,
Shock, I'm a sidewinder. What's that mean? Snake?
it's
freaking awesome.
it's, well, I guess, yeah, I read that too, that they're talking about, well, I think a lot of times I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's one of those lyricists that when I read the lyrics, I'm like, I'm not even sure what you're talking about. It sounds like you're just throwing some words out there, but
He's a very talented lyricist. In his biography, he talks about that's the only class he did well in, is he absolutely destroyed English.
Really?
Because he's always been a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple teachers took him aside and said, you know, gave him some encouragement. Yeah, you actually have real talent here. But of course, he was too into mayhem. So I think he probably found the right the right career path as a rock singer to use that. But yeah, don't you find he's a good lyricist? I think.
I think he is, but I
super
find
good.
a lot of it confusing, and try and follow me here on this journey, if you will, because we've gone from Morrow's number 1 song to my number 1 song, and then we'll go to the song number 4 from the album By the Way, which is Can't Stop. Gordo, that's your number 1 song.
Sure was.
And I love this song. I had it at number 5 as well, but this is a prime example for me of his lyrics. When you like, I don't have a clue what this is about.
I
Not a
don't
clue.
either, and I like it that way.
Right? And that's kind of my point. Like, I can't say, I really connect with the lyrics or whatever, but I can sing every lyric, and I think it's groovy as fuck, and it's a wicked rock song. But
I gotta confess, like you know, I find this to be their grooviest song. That's saying something about the Chili Peppers, but it's also kind of on the mellow side. When I listen to this song, I instantly do the overbite rock face. I can't not do it. I'm rocking out. I'm playing guitar. I'm drumming. I'm singing. I'm doing everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Unbelievable song.
It's no doubt it was a huge hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really catchy. That was number 4. And number 3, as we get into the top 3, is, and this goes to what Cecil was saying. Now I get it. I never picked up on this, but the title track from By the Way, Gordo and I, again, we're all over it. This continues Gord's huge run of just dominating the top 10.
Dominating.
But again, funny how, you know, I had this song number 2, you had this song number 3, and then the other two guys, it's not in the top 20. And that's not a shot at anyone. It's just because it's so difficult to try and rank all these songs. And I apologize to the audience who's heard us probably say that 3 or 4 times in this episode already. But this is again a prime example of it.
I think this song too does a good. It really kind of hammers home how good Frusciante was as a backup singer too, and I think that's what some of the other albums lacked. Is he's really good at backing up key, especially on this song. He's all over it.
Well, and he was a huge part of writing that album.
Yeah,
Like
Right.
huge part. I think he wrote more and he started to sing more.
I love
sings
this album.
It's crazy how much he sings live. You don't really know, but he's singing like every chorus, like he's right there. And I can't imagine the band without him there singing.
He's super talented. Have you ever heard any of his? He's got 10 solo albums.
Does he really?
I've heard. I don't.
And they're fucking bizarre.
Really?
They're very weird. I think the Chili's give him focus. There's some strange shit.
Like weird how? Like is it like
weird.
psychedelic shit? Is it?
No,
It's like electronic kind of
Really?
weird beats and
It's
hardly
bizarre.
any guitar. Like it's just bizarre.
and not super catchy. I've heard his quote unquote hit, and it's not as good.
Maybe
Not
him
that
and
good.
Tommy Lee could get together because Tommy Lee's what was that band that he did Methods of Mayhem?
Yeah,
Is that what it was called? And
No, this is
really
yeah,
electronic
this is-
and totally weird. I'm just like, this
No,
is
this-
garbage.
This is completely different. This is like artistic.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
You hear it and it's like,
yeah, that's a good way to
what the
describe
fuck
it.
is that? Like
Artistic.
it's just it's like super artsy kind of.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, I guess that gives him a way to express himself.
Well, he's an interesting cat because he left the band because he couldn't take he didn't like the fame
Yeah, he.
after Blood Sugar Sex Magic. He didn't,
I want
he
to
didn't
play
like
in a
being,
band for nobody.
I want to play in a
come
band,
on.
yeah.
I want-
So you do your
I
solo
want,
shit
I want
that's
to go to a
garbage.
concert and no one to show up. That's why I
There's-
play in a band.
He became
That's
very
the fucking
distant.
point.
On Blood Sugar Sets, man, he started to become very distant from the guys, and he was just like moody. In fact, check out a YouTube video of them playing on Saturday Night Live, and he purposely plays out of key right before Anthony Kiedis goes to sing and throws Kiedis off. Kiedis goes over and kicks him. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Just turns out and he boots him as if just there had to have been a fist fight after that song. Like I thought they were gonna brawl right there, but he
Put my
totally
money on
screws with him.
Kiedis.
Oh yeah, he destroyed him.
Well, and the funny part is, it's not like he was begging to get back in the band. They wanted him back because they're like, it's not the Chili's without you.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear what this new album sounds like. But maybe old Johnny he realized that while you get to express yourself in a weird way and make these 11 solo albums that no one on this earth has heard, that those albums don't come with a paycheck like they do when you're on tour for By the Way or something. He's like, wait a minute, there seems to be a few zeros missing off my paycheck with this solo shit.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah, number 2, back to One Hot Minute is My Friends. I'm the only dummy that didn't have this song on the list, but
I am shocked.
I don't like this song. I think it's a
I am
terrible song.
absolutely shocked.
I will let
I love this
I will
song.
let you guys.
It's a great song.
You
Well, I
guys
guess
speak
it's
the
not the
praise.
Great
Pixie Sticks.
song.
Not going to be the Pixie Sticks theme song, like I suggest. I would.
No, I think this is an awful song. It's
Really?
one-
Lyrics are outstanding.
Anyway,
I love this dude. Did you know Dave
Flex the
Navarro?
hardcore. It gets sensitive. He's out. Once the
That's
feelings
right.
kick
Right.
in,
I don't like talking about my feelings.
that's right. That's why.
some-
That's why I drink.
Give me something to break.
Did you know that Dave
the Limp
Navarro's
Bizkit
mom
after that one.
was murdered when he was like
Yes.
15? I think he was. I
Yeah,
believe he
I
witnessed
heard
it.
that.
His mom and her friend get some ex-boyfriend of them stabbed him. I believe. Right.
So
I think
that's
it
what
was-
the song's. That's what the song's about.
I don't know if that's what this is about, but that's just the extra little facts you get here at Picks and Sticks, boys.
My friends are
Just
so
random
depressed.
facts that have nothing to do with anything. Great job there, Gordon.
My mom got murdered in front of me. Is that how it goes?
That song didn't
friends-
make the cut. My friend got
I had,
stabbed. No.
you know what?
My friend's mom got
I went and
stabbed.
learned this song on guitar this week because I was like, you know what? Why wouldn't I learn this on guitar? I like it that much.
It sounds too hard.
It does
It's
sound
not.
hard.
It's actually really simple.
Huh. Well, there you go. Now you can dazzle us camping
Yeah, that's
with
right.
a depressing song.
With a depressing
My friends
song.
are so depressed.
Yeah.
I think
It's not depressing.
I don't.
I know
Yeah,
it's uplifting. I get it.
It's. Oh yeah, that's
It's about-
what I love
It's about being
their
there
Chili-
for your bros. It's about being
Chili's
there
right
for
from
your,
day one. Me and my friends. They sing a lot about the brotherhood, and they sing a lot about loving your buddies. Like they're.
And then they
got-
proceeded
they
to
got-
kick like 5 guitarists out of the band.
That's
5.
true, hey.
8, maybe 10.
A lot of dudes. Yeah, they sing a
Yes.
lot about love. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Walking on down the road. Everybody knows true friends are few. Lots of singing about your buddies right from day one.
Totally, man.
And it was a very popular song too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what drove me over the edge, was that I heard it so much. I don't know. I don't know. And I was hoping I'd be able to get past it as we went through this. And I can't, the song to me is unlistenable. I know that I am in the minority, especially if we polled the listeners in that, but
I love all of you.
It's just not a song
I can see Huff singing that to us.
Yeah.
No.
I can see him in the car.
All of you.
Sing it, Huff. Come on, man.
You're making him uncomfortable.
You know what? As soon as we're done, let's go karaoke and let's dial it up, boys. we can record it and we'll release that as a special epi.
How good a karaoke bar would do right now. People dying to get out.
Karaoke Picks and Sticks special edition.
All right,
let's put that one on the back burner because we need to get to number one. The number one song is the only song.
Yeah.
Think how weird this is. Out of all the bands we've done, this is the only song in the top 11 that all four of us picked. All the other ones were 3 or 2. So this is from Stadium Arcadium, a little song called Danny California. Cecil, you had it number 2. I had it number 3. Gordo had it number 8, and Morrow number 15 on the list. So this was the number one song, boys.
Good song.
Yeah.
Great, one of the best guitar solos I've ever heard.
Yeah. Well said.
Yes. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's a good guitar solo.
Yeah.
It's very memorable for some. I don't know why.
It's a little squirrely.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about it.
I do too. It's very different. It's very different. And then at the end, it's like he gives up and he just makes the racket. I kind of like that too.
So they said he wrote this about a woman, but then when they asked him, he said it's about every woman I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, it's a generic thing, and that's why this Danny Dani shows up on I think 3 songs. There's a reference to the, like By the Way. There's a reference, right, to Danny, and then what's the other song? Anyway, there's another song as well where he makes that reference. So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to. I was just gonna say, does anyone else think that if Stadium Arcadium was reduced down to like a single album, that this could be one of their best albums? But I don't know if I'm buying the double albums. It's long.
No bad tunes.
No?
There's no bad tunes, but I would say a lot of the same tune. Like,
yes, that's a good call.
I do feel like, I think there were probably other bands out there that had that much material, released one album, and then years down the road, you get the B-sides or the outtakes or whatever, and the songs that didn't make it that are just as good. I mean, I had a lot of songs. I think I had 8 songs from Stadium Arcadium on my short list.
There's so many good ones. 21st Century is one of the best dance tunes. And sorry, I interrupt you, Morrow, but the best line from Especially in Michigan is double chins and bowling pins.
yeah.
Especially in Michigan. I'm like, what happened in Michigan? He's talking some shit about Michigan.
Yeah.
Them wouldn't be happy.
I think he's from either Michigan or Minnesota originally. So yeah, he does talk a lot of shit about it.
All right. So
I think they wanted to release it as 3 albums.
Oh, really?
Could have been, hey?
They wanted to release it as 3, and then they got sort of coerced into, no, that's a terrible idea. Just let's release it as a double.
Rick Rubin said, "You guys are dummies."
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, at least that way, if it's a double album and people are going to buy it, you're going to listen to it. Like Green Day did that. We talked about it in, I don't know, one of the episodes where they released 3 albums in a very short period of time. It was like one a week for 3 weeks or something like that. And it was too much. And it was like, I'm not fucking buying 3 albums, like beat it. Whereas at least if it was all in one album, it's like, well, I'm buying the album, so I'm going to get all that material. So anyway, that's just my take on it. So the top 11, if you will, Ready Made is at 10, tied with Give It Away. 9 is I Could Have Lied. One Hot Minute and Breaking the Girl tied for 7. Other Side at 6. Parallel Universe at 5. Can't Stop at 4. By the Way 3. My Friends number 2. And the top song, our favorite song, I guess, is properly the way we should probably say it, Danny California. Now, before we get into the egregious omissions and some points of contention, we haven't done this before. I'm just going to quickly reference the top 20. So again, we do produce, you'll find our playlist, which is our top 20, which is going to be massive because there's a bunch of ties and stuff here. And then we'll add our deep cuts and stuff. So you can find that on Spotify, on YouTube, and on Apple Music, and you find the links to that in the show notes. But before you say, hey, how is this not on the top 10 or top 11 or whatever, these are the songs that were at least in the top 20. So I don't think we would consider them omissions. So Californication, again, Cecil, title track, that just missed out on the top 11. So Californication's there, Soul to Squeeze is there, Under the Bridge, Around the World, the title track from Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Dark Necessities, which is one of the big hits that came off of The Getaway, and Scar Tissue, which is probably the other. So I'll put this out to you in terms of egregious omissions. Suck My Kiss didn't make it. I was trying to think of any other big hits that weren't on there that
Maybe
didn't make
Higher Ground.
Oh, yeah, Higher Ground.
Yeah.
Higher Ground.
That's what kind of made him. That was the first big hit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was.
And again, I think that one, because it's a cover song, it's very difficult. We're very, very strict with our rules here at Picks and Sticks. And it's very difficult to get a cover song on a list because, why, boys? Because it's got to be better, right?
Gotta be better.
And I don't know. I still prefer the Stevie version, but in any event. So yeah, that's a good call. That could be considered an egregious omission. The other one I added on, not as popular, but one of the songs I think in the early days, being Fight Like a Brave. I think that was actually the first Red Hot Chili Peppers song I had heard. Are there any other egregious omissions, do you think? Or did we completely get it wrong on the top 10? Do you think, how the hell does, I don't know, Scar Tissue end up in the 20 spot or anything like that?
I think you already touched on it, but Suck My Kiss was the one for me that, because it just came out of the top 20, and that was a big hit. I really like that song. So I think we did a pretty good job, boys.
I was surprised I was on an island under the bridge. Because I thought that would be more around the table popular
You know
song.
what?
But I can't, again,
I will be the
list,
first to
complain.
admit that was a fuck up. Yeah, I should have had that on there.
Which one?
I looked at it and Under the Bridge. Under the Bridge, to me, I don't know how I missed
Yeah,
it.
Gordo
This was such a
and
good
Moro
listen.
didn't have it. Cecil, you know what? I'll give you the floor a little bit because that was your number one song. I just realized that. So this was the one situation, and it happens occasionally, not very often, but when someone's number one song doesn't make the the top 10 or whatever. I mean, it comes in at number 13 or 14, whatever it is, but
It was 1 point from being in the top 10.
Oh, that's totally on one of you guys then. All you had to do is
That's
get
what
it
I'm
in there.
saying. All I had to do
Yeah.
was pick it.
Okay.
Even 20th. So
But
it was
again, that's
it was my bad.
No bad songs.
No bad songs.
So much going on. It's hard to narrow it down.
Well,
It is.
you find sometimes, at least for me, when you've got that many songs and you're trying to organize, there are times that something just gets lost in the shuffle, right? When you're moving things around and maybe you cross something off your list or delete it if you're using Word or something like that, and then you put it in there, then you want to rearrange and then it just gets lost. That does kind of happen. At least that's what I find.
Agreed.
Yeah. But hey,
So
Yeah, I think that
It
points of contention.
wasn't on the top 20 on Spotify. That's why Gord didn't have it.
Yeah, maybe.
I know. There's- that points of contention. Anyone?
Or
sounds like you might have one, man.
it sounds if
Gord's list.
Gord's
I
list,
gotta
eh?
say. It's the laziest list I've ever seen.
Oh, shots fired.
Absolutely no effort put into this. I'm looking through
What?
this. I'm like, You took the greatest hits album, and then you took all the title tracks except for One Hot Minute, and threw in a couple first songs on albums. Your list is about 3 songs long.
Oh, look
Wet
at you.
Sand,
Well,
Wet
you're
Sand
quite the artist with Magic Johnson. I'm going to put Magic
Wet-
Johnson up.
Wet-
No one has that song on their list. That's
Wet-
a god awful pick.
I
You're
have
giving me
Magic
Sand.
shit.
Johnson.
Wet Sand
Magic
at
Johnson's a
Midnight.
good song.
Your list, because someone agrees with you, doesn't make it good. If everyone agrees with you, it's probably bad.
Dude, I think you're just mad that I'm sprinkled all over the top 10. I'm dominating, and you're like in the hinterlands with Sexy American Maid. Who put that on the list?
Oh,
That's
easy
on
now.
you,
I like
buddy.
that song. That almost made
First
my top
song.
20. Now
I do like that song.
those are
I
fighting
like that
words
song.
now.
I
Like
that
I
song.
said earlier, first song that he sings well. Before Morrow said, "By the way," there's 3 songs. He sings beautifully on that song. It's surprisingly
I
about
will-
his sexy Mexican maid.
Yep. I would say it's easy. You know, this goes back to I'll never forget this. I think I'll probably get the episode wrong. I believe it was Soundgarden, but Gord said this and it has stuck in my head ever since then. And you know, it's about getting too.
Oh,
cute
don't
with
even
it,
get me
right?
started.
No, hang on. It's about getting too cute with it, and I've been guilty of that a couple of times where you're like, getting too cute with it. You're trying to bring in some stuff and this and that, and just out thinking yourself. And it's like, you know, at the end, like I almost did that with this band, and then I was like, well, hang on a minute. You know, my list, you know, has some obviously we all have some popular stuff, but it was hard not to get cute with it and have some of these other songs. So that's kind of what I would say in somewhat defense of Gordo's list.
Thank you, sir.
Mine's
Basically,
got
everyone.
cute all over it. It's as cute as it gets.
It is awfully cute. But you know, well, actually, let's get into the deep cuts because this could be an interesting sort of conversation or whatever. Because this was the one time when I started getting into deep cuts. Generally, I try and pick some songs that I really, really like from my own list, and I think I eventually did that. But when I look at, you know, Cecil's list, and you've got, I'm assuming they call it's Emmett Remus, which is Summertime spelled backwards.
We missed that on the summertime songs, but it's not too summertime.
No, it's not. But that's a song that, you know, that was there. It tickled the list, if you will.
Tickled the list.
What's that word? Dissonance? That is it. Is that the word?
Dissonance.
Where it's like that conflict that
It's
How
tension.
do you explain it? Tension. That's
Tension.
Yeah.
Such a
Before
that
the
song, start to
release.
finish. And it's about Sporty Spice. Like,
Is
that
it
should be
really?
number one?
Is it?
Yeah, they were.
Did they date?
Rumors. Yeah, they dated.
What?
I mean, Sporty Spice, dude.
Oh man, I
Sporty.
still remember that poster you had at
Underrated.
your place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Passed it down to Morrow. Morrow carried it on.
yeah.
carried
It was the backboard for the dartboard.
That's unacceptable.
And someone
she's
missed
so,
and
like,
hit her right in the
underrated.
nipple.
She'd be the way most fun Spice Girl. You could take her
Yeah.
to Super Bowl,
Dude, Super Bowl.
but she knows sports too, right? So she'd know that she
Right.
can't come to the conference championships. That's for the buddies. you
Yeah,
know? She
yeah.
wouldn't be
She
offended.
would-
Like,
she would
why are
know.
you leaving me at home? Right?
Yeah.
She would get it because she knows sports.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so do we want to who wants to
And
start
she's
out
fit.
with
Said fit.
oh my
Sorry.
God. Fucking Cecil's he's on a rampage. I'm not intentionally trying to cut you off, but you get the Spice Girls involved, man, and he is going to get on a heater. There's no way around it. So, who wants to start off with the deep cuts?
It's the only one you could bring home to mom.
He's still going deep cuts, for Christ's sakes. Somebody help a brother out.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
start.
but any others,
Gordo.
any others is home to mom.
All right, I just have two. They're not huge hits, but they were buried in in an older album. I'm gonna go with "Midnight" off of "By the Way," one of their mellower songs. I think that one's really catchy, and I like all the instrumentation in the back. I think it's
Super great choice.
beautiful song. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
And
It
then
is.
my other one's off of Stadium Arcadium, and it's kind of a similar song actually. It's called "Wet Sand." I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
This song brings a tear to my eye.
super
It's
great choice
so beautiful.
too.
I love
You
that.
don't-
I love that song too. Those are two great choices from a very lazy
Yeah.
list, Gord. Nice job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. What are the Lotus Kids, anyways?
I don't know.
We are the Lotus,
Lotus
Kids.
kids, you better take note. Yeah, dude.
And the violence
So
at the beginning? Oh,
Yeah.
That was that. Okay. You know what? Okay, maybe you put some effort in.
Okay. Thanks. I'm redeemed. I feel better.
There you go. Cease. You want to go next?
All right, I was getting too cute.
And don't,
Oh,
and don't say Sporty
Speaking of
Spice.
speaking of getting cute, tell me what you want, what you really want. Is that okay?
They could do a remake of that.
I'm gonna go. Okay. I won't go with that one. I'm gonna leave that off. I'm changing my changing on the fly here. Okay, I gotta have something backwoods from Uplift Mofo. It's one of the earlier kind of rockin' tunes. Super great guitars. I don't want to put Coffee Shop, but I'm going to put a mention on that's one of the greatest bass solos ever. Flea fires off in there, but
Unreal.
it's too popular.
That was a song I
just-
was pumping the tires of that one, and then it ended up not making my 20, so I feel guilty about
You know
that.
that, yeah. He just goes. Well, let's put it on there then for the bass.
Yes,
solo
let's.
for
I
Fleas,
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
because he goes. That's the only reason that song is on my list. It's not a bad song, but that's where I get the freaking goosebumps.
Sorry,
I
can you-
really
can you-
like that song.
Can you repeat that? Which song was that?
Coffee Shop.
Coffee Shop. Oh, that's a great pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, have you seen Sporty Spice lately?
Oh
She
my
looks
God.
good still. She looks really good.
That's right, because she's like sports. She takes care of herself. Right?
She aged the best. Okay, sorry.
Carbs in the morning.
What about Mel
okay?
B?
No.
Yeah, Mel
blah,
B's-
None of them. No. Blah, blah, blah.
Mora was always a Mel
Oh,
B
she had
guy.
didn't she have a... the special seat. Okay, now I'm getting too out of hand. She dated Eddie Murphy. And the special secret song on Uplift Mofo, I won't sing the chorus because it's vulgar.
Yep.
But that's based on an Eddie Murphy comedy routine. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
He-
I gotcha.
anyway.
Is that
So-
is that going on the list?
Yeah, we better put it on there. Secret, special secret song. And then I'm going to shut up.
Special secret song.
Because it's a secret. You got to go find it if you want to hear it.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave.
I didn't have the courage. Thank you.
I'm gonna leave Moro to the end for a second, but I've got three deep cuts. I'm going with Fortune Faded, which is from their greatest hits. Which I think this was produced by Ruben as well, but Fortune Faded is unbelievable to me. I mean, I had it on my list at number 12. It's a song I believe about. This is one of the songs I think I might know what it's about. It's a song about, your success not lasting forever. It's a great tune. That's my second great tune.
What's the song about where the success didn't even start?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I want. I'm going to write that one.
Yeah.
Can I move Fortune Faded up on my list now? Sorry.
Fortune Faded is great. My second pick is from The Getaway, Sick Love.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I've
pick.
got I almost threw that in the top 5 just to fit it in there. I could not. That song I had it just tried everything to get in there. One of the best sing along tunes they have.
It really is. And it's it's funny that I mean anyone can read this. I mean I the research team Googled it and gave me the information, so it's not like we're really bringing you some breaking news, but it was Elton John gets a songwriting credit on this that
Really?
yeah.
You know that?
Someone brought in a riff that was inspired by Benny and the Jets. They said by the time the song was finished, it doesn't sound anything like the way that it originally started, but because it was inspired by Benny and the Jets, they gave him a songwriting credit on it. So anyway, take that for what it's
So
worth.
does that mean he gets dough? Does he automatically get dough?
I would
for that,
imagine
or
get
does
a little bit
have
of
to be
dough for it.
negotiated?
Yeah. And my third is Warlocks from Stadium Arcadium.
It's a good call.
It's a great call. It's another one, we talked about Stadium a little bit, that it's another one of those There's so many really, really good, solid songs, and I love that song. It's
And just so we're clear, I don't think you can call your own calls a great call. That's just, it's kind of like giving yourself a nickname. It's just not cool.
Did I just say that? Did I say it's a great call?
I said that's a good call, and you're like, yeah, it's a great call.
Well, I can agree with you.
Great call.
I can agree. All right, fine. Fuck you guys. It's a terrible call. So anyway, so that's my 3 picks. Over to you.
Those are
Mauro.
good. Very good.
Thank you. Is that the way I'm supposed to handle it? I'm supposed to say thank you, not yeah, it is. But sorry, if I'm going to interrupt just for a quick second. So going to the NHL playoffs, I don't know if you saw the video of, so the Tampa Bay Lightning coach, John Cooper, was, when they do the handshake after and they're shaking everyone's hands, and they specifically focused on sort of the 3 rookies that the Canadians have. And so, he was saying, congratulate, you're going to be a hell of a player, something to that effect, or you're going to be a great player. And one of the guys says, "I know." So if you watch that, it was like, yeah, you know what, you're going to be a heck of a player or whatever. He goes, and the guy goes, "I know." So maybe that's where I was inspired.
That's
when you say that's a great pick. I go, "I know." So anyway, more over to you.
Oh,
I think
before
John
Mauro goes-
Cooper's.
No, here we go. Another cutoff. You're never going more.
I know. I got full of cutoffs. I like cutting off Mauro today and most days. But okay.
Okay.
No,
Is this
it's
about
'cause you're
Scary
talking
Spice?
about no, it was he's talking about the copyright. It was driving me nuts. There's another story about copyright. Danny California, because it's their number 1 tune. I thought it was important mentioning. But that was brought up for a possible copyright infringement for Last Dance with Mary Jane, Tom Petty. But Tom
Really?
Petty decided, Tom Petty, I don't know if he decided, but there was a quote with him saying, how many notes are there? Like, there's not enough good tunes, maybe it sounds like it, but it's like, he's like, not close enough. He's like, anyways, totally support it. Didn't go for a writing credit, none of that bullshit, Tom Petty, Elton John. Wait a second. Elton John didn't write any of his fucking tunes. How does he get a writing credit for that?
I don't know. That might be a separate podcast, but you're
There's
right.
too much going on here. Yeah. Anyways, Danny California, Tom Petty said, fuck it, have it.
Doesn't his boyfriend write all his tunes?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, no, he didn't like
Or
him.
his husband?
I don't know.
No.
Is it his husband?
I don't know.
No, none of that. That guy was, he was not.
It was somebody else that he had a writing partner or whatever. But
Anyways, Tom Petty, way cooler.
he's the
than
coolest
Elton John.
dude, man. That's why I love Petty. In fact, I've got a Tom Petty album on my shelf right there.
There it is.
What? Just say, there you go. Hey?
There you go. All right, Mauro, what do you got?
More would say that's synergism.
Now,
Mauro's stroked out.
No, I'm just fucking waiting for someone to interrupt me.
Okay, go ahead. Don't fucking interrupt him.
Wait, one more thing.
This podcast's gonna go sideways if it hasn't already. Go ahead. What do you got?
I'm gonna go all old school.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Love Trilogy from Uplift Mofo Party Plan, and it reminds me a little bit of one of my favorite metal bands, Suicidal Tendencies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go, with the George Clinton produced American Ghost Dance from Freaky Styley.
American Ghost Dance. I don't even know if I know that song.
this is the cutest thing I've
Speaking
ever
about
seen.
getting too cute.
Jesus.
You know what? Why don't you go f yourself?
This
Like,
is
because I pay
adorable.
homage. You know what? I pay homage to some of the old shit, and I got to listen to you fucking spout off, Mr. Chili Peppers. Oh, I'm the Chili Peppers expert.
See-
Why don't
see
you
what
stick
happened?
it up your ass, you sucker?
You got them all riled up, and now I'm taking grief.
I'm waiting for the voice crack.
This fucking cr-
All right, let's keep going. Sorry, man.
And then punk rock classic
Yes.
from Mother's Milk.
Come and be with me, live my twisted dream. Oh no, that's the Pantera version. Sorry.
That's right.
Oh my God, it's the same tune.
Love it.
You're right.
And I don't know who
fucking
ripped
nailed
off
it.
who.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Mauro and I were
hilarious.
trying to figure it out. So That album is from Mother's Milk, which was released in 1989, but the Pantera album wasn't released until a year later. Yet somehow those two songs, when you listen to them, they're the same freaking song.
Holy fucking, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
That's Primal Concrete Sledge for those non-Pantera fans. If you listen to those two songs, that part of the song are
So
Yeah,
now
love that.
I want
Love
no.
that.
I'm not fucking done.
dude.
I wanna
settle
know-
down.
No one was cutting you off.
No, I'm not done because I want to know why. If I pick some old songs, how's that getting fucking cute?
I was just kidding, man.
yeah.
I was just trying to rattle your cage, and I did so
Yeah,
too
well, you
much.
did.
You might want
And
to grab
so-
a gummy or something there.
And so I'm gonna walk that back. It was not personal.
Fuck that, walk it back. Fuck 'em.
Somehow we've gone backwards in the podcast. We're now back at points of contention,
Dude.
and I do believe that this is the points of contention right here.
What are do you have more?
I gotta turn my mic.
No, well, I do, but I don't.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to pay some. No. I wanted to pay some homage to the old stuff, so that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, at least we're not all fucking so agreeable as usual, eh?
That's totally true.
Come and see it with me.
I'm trying to figure.
I could go through the ones we missed off the top 13 hits they had.
Kid,
Well, what do you mean?
Would be better.
What do we miss other than Suck Your Kiss? Suck My
that was a
Kiss.
shot at
Suck
that
your
was
what?
The Zephyr song.
Oh yeah, the Zephyr
Dosed.
song.
I
What
like
is
the
this, Zephyr?
I like the Zephyr song.
Snow AO.
That's
Snow.
a terrible song.
That's a great song, and that is one of the hardest guitar riffs to play that there is.
Oh, that's the one
Really?
you're talking
By
about.
far.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's played at like 250 BPM, and the song is a third of the speed. It's that is one of the most incredible guitar parts ever. So we have to add that song.
All right, I'll add that on there. All right, it's on there. That works
Whoa,
out to
sorry.
2, 4.
Sorry,
5, 6,
burping the mic.
9.
Damn Pilsner.
Yeah, 12 deep cuts.
Right? Righteous and the Wicked is a good pick.
That's about right.
Great tune.
Righteous in the
put
Wicked.
it on there.
Yeah, I know, and this is the
Just look at
problem.
your list. Just spitballing.
Yeah,
Going at it.
I know.
Great choice.
Yeah, thank you. In any event, this is the part where Mauro will hit the outro music, because that's really it for now. I think it's time to pull the plug. So please subscribe to the Picks and Sticks podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Amazon, Pandora. I think this is the first time you heard the term sucker on our podcast. Thank you for that, Mauro. Thanks for listening, and until next time, see you.
Dude, you could take her to hockey games. Hey? Fucking go for jogs.
Jesus.
Nice dinner than a
Hey?
hockey game.
She could spot you when you're bench pressing.
Yeah.
She could spot you.
Everything. Hey? Sporty.
Good thing we can
feel
only
like
see
Mel
you
B.
from the shoulders up. I got a bad feeling about what's going on.
Hang on.
Yeah, dude, I thought you were
Got
gonna
the-
pull it. I thought you were
got-
gonna pull it out
got
when you
the-
were talking about her.
I got the fake arm.
Should we do a Spice Girls episode?
No.
We should.